Good noon, What's up in the mirror? You guys are my show I made early this morning. What are you at? I'm eating chapati with hot dogs. It's actually really good. Yeah. It's like a hot dog but with chapati, right? With ketchup and onions. It's really good. Ivan, you're not gonna stop Rocky League? No. It's too risky. It's too much of my money. Money I'm out of it make. I might only make 20, 25, 30 off the book. I'm shocked I make 50, but if I make 50 billion off the book and I put 33, 34 billion into the league, that's more than half my money. Me and VJ are still good. I'll make my money back, but if I flop as a player, that's not good for the league, obviously. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Everyone's hyped about Ivan. The league's talking about Ivan playing pro hockey. Ivan flops as a player. He scores maybe like 6 goals in his first season. And I flop as a player. Yeah. Well, movies is not risky, obviously. Even though I'm not skilled at some of these Hollywood actors, I could steer the ship with a movie. So all of my acting's pretty good. I'm putting a show for movies, I'm good, obviously, right? Yeah. You think you will make more than 30 billion off your book? Most likely. I have the keys to the kingdom, man. Me saying 20 billion, 25 billion, 30 billion is just me being humble. Because I have the keys to the kingdom. Everyone around the world is connected to my mind, so I have the keys. But here's the thing, though. I did the math. There's only 1.5 billion people in the world who speak English as a first, second, or third language. So I might only make 20, 25, 30 off the book, but I might be shocked and make 50, 60, 70 million off the book. Maybe 50 million off the book. If I make 50 million off the book, I'll have enough money to start the pro league, but that's more than half my money. All right, how much money do you think you'll be doing? How much money do you think you'll be making every season? Probably my 180 billion a season I'll be making. Me saying 30 billion is me being humble. I'll probably be making my 80, 100 billion a season, but I have to put maybe 16 billion back, 15 billion back into the league each season, obviously. All right. Yeah, but if that's why the players will want to raise, obviously. Yeah, it's not fair that Ivan's making like his 80 billion a season. I'm saying we want to raise, but like the players are not worth. If you have a 300 million salary cap, Ivan, those hockey athletes are duping you. You're overpaying them, and they're duping them. There's a reason why I'm making more than you guys. You guys are puny and small compared to me. I'm still making sure you get paid, but they want to raise. Yeah, it's not fair. You're making like you're 60 billion. 55 billion a season, and we're making the peanuts. We want to raise. Yeah, I'll give you like an $8 million raise for the salary cap. I'm not paying you guys any more money if I sell that league right now. Yeah, but if you're making like 60 billion a season in the SHL, you can easily give the players like put a $300 salary cap. Yes, I can, but the players are not worth that. They're duping me, man. Because the players know with a $300 cap, the star players cannot make 50, Non-generational talent players can make their $50 million, even $60 million, but the players are not worth that. They rip me off. Oh my guys, these SHL athletes are not worth a $60 million contract with their like league revenue. They're not worth that. They're ripping you off, man. 30 million is like how much they're worth, like max. And generational talent like Combination and Crosby are worth a 35 plus to 40 million. Even 50 million is a bit too much. They're worth a 35, 40 million this season. Justin Sarah. Wash my hands. Yeah. Yeah, man. No, you're not going to start it. No. It's a little bit risky, man. I could flop as a player, guys. I don't want to take that risk. Sorry, guys. It's too much of my money. But there is a possibility I will make my 50, even 60 billion off the book. But I mean, that's like half my money gone. But me and Vigil will still be good, obviously. And Vigil will tell me, yeah, that's a lot of our money, but you're going to make your money back. I mean, yeah, like the league will be doing probably 150, 180, 200 billion in revenue. And I'll be making like my 80 billion, 100 billion in profit for the league. But I have to put like 15 billion back into the league. For each, you gotta have each team have an operating budget per season of at least $450, $500 million for each team. That's good enough. I'm not gonna put any more money into the league. I don't want those guys to dupe me, obviously. But you don't have to give each team $1 billion operating revenue. You're wasting money. $450, $500 million a season is enough operating budget revenue for each team. So I only have to put like 14, 15 billion back in the league. Each team has an operating budget for each season of $500 million. That's enough money for the league to pay the bills. Obviously. Yeah, but Ivan, man, if you make like 80 billion, 100 billion a season, we deserve like a 300 round cycle. Yeah, I can easily raise it to $300 million, but the players are not worth that. I'm not gonna have those guys do me, man. You're overpaying the players, Ivan, and they're ripping you off if you suck that league, right? Players are ripping you off. Yeah. The board goes, well, yeah, if you got to put like if you want to build a state-of-the-art SHL facility, you have to put $1 billion. Yeah, I have to put $1 billion towards each SHL arena. As $300 million is not enough. I went online. Yeah, the economy does not allow for $300 million. You have to spend $800 to $1 billion to build one NHL arena. So that's like $25 billion of my money. And $200 million salary cap. That's another $5 billion. That's 30 billion. And maybe an additional, and you have an additional 800 million for the chartered flights. That's already 31 billion. And I have to put at least another 2 billion into the league to pay the board of governors, the coaches, and the GMs their salary, and all the guys. Those guys have to get paid. That's why the athletes are going to want to raise, obviously. Yeah, it's not fair. Like you're making like your 80, 90 billion a season. I don't know, 60 billion a season. After I put money back in the league, we want to raise that. It's not fair. You're making your $60 billion a season. You know what I'm saying? 65 billion a season, and we're making the peanuts. Yeah, if you don't like what I'm paying you guys, play in the NHL and make your $9 million as a star player. If you don't like what I'm paying, man. I'm not going to raise the cap to $200 million. You guys are not worth that. You rip me off. Yeah, Rob, you can easily have a $300 million salary cap. Yes, I can, but I'm not going to have these guys dupe me, man. They're not worth that. With a $300 million salary cap, now good players can make like $17 million. They're not worth that. And star players who are non-generational talent can make their $50 million. Even some players can even make $60 million. Generational talents can make $60 million a season. But these NHL athletes, Ivan, are not worth $60 million a season for their base alone, right? Yeah, with their league revenue, they're worth maybe their 50 million, I don't know, 45 million with their league revenue. But like for their base alone, they're not worth $60 million, excluding their league revenue. They're ripping you off, Ivan. Even Sidney Crosby company are not worth that. They're not worth $60 million. They're worth max their 50 million in the SHL. If they were to play them, it's too late for those guys. They're worth max $45, $50 million. Those guys are not worth more than that, man. We'll hate you guys for saying, yeah. As for my SHL Pro Hockey League, only generational talents get 35 to 50, and do not pay a player any more than 50. And they have to be generational talent. They're not rare talent. Don't even think about paying a player $35+ million. They're not worth that. Don't peak any higher than 30, guys. That's good enough. Maybe 32. Don't peak any higher than 32 million for a star player. That's enough. They don't make that in the NHL, right? I like it though, guys. I'm going to be moose on a beach out season. The cost is just too high. I have to put like $33 billion of my money into to start the league, man. It's been crazy. So if I make $50 billion, I put $33 billion into the league. That's more than half my money I invested into the league. But it's a good investment. I will make my money back. But the key question is, will I be a star player? If I'm not a star player, the revenue of the league can dip. Yeah, you got to be the face of the league with the star players and be a star player if you really want this league to make its money. It's like 180 billion in profit. Yeah. That's the board of guys with tongue bells. That's in Sarah. Yeah. Take a nice hot shower after this. Yeah. Wow, you're fucking cheap, man. Like you're like, even if you made like 80 billion, I don't know, 60 billion a season, you wouldn't raise the cap to $300. No, because I'm not gonna have these athletes dupe me, man. Raise $300, live, and the athletes are ripping you off. Good players can now bargain for like $17 million. A good player is not worth $17 million, man. They're worth no more than maybe 10, 11 million. Like you don't want these guys duping. Yeah, these guys are a big player. They're famous players, and they're the stars of your league. But they're puny and small compared to you, Ivan. They're not worth the $300 salary cap is crazy. They're duping you, and you're being way too generous with the players, and they're draining more of your profits. If you have a $300 salary cap, you have to put like $20 billion of your money, $18 billion of your money into the league. That's a lot of my money, man. I don't want to do that, right? I mean, you have to, yeah. But the players will be happy with how much they're making. They don't make that in the NHL. You know, even though Ivan's greedy, he's generous, man. He's making sure we're getting us players are getting paid a lot of money, more than what we're making in the NHL. Yeah, you can make $30 million a season as a star player in the SHL. That's a lot of money for the player, and they get like 7-8 million league revenue. They made 38 million that season. That's a lot of money. But it's peanuts compared to how much money I'm making. That's why they want to raise. Yeah, it's not fair. You're making like your 65 billion a season. We want to raise, Ivan. Yeah, I can raise the cap when the league goes on strike, but I'll have them raise it by maybe $8-10 million. That's good enough. I'm not going to raise it by like $50-100 million. You guys are crazy. You're draining. Yeah. If you raise the cap by $100 million, the players just took $2.5 billion of your money, Ivan. That's a lot of your money, man. A lot of your money, Ivan. Right? You know those guys duping you. The coaches and GMs might go on strike too. Well, for the coaches and GMs, that's a lockdown. They might want to raise too. Like everyone in the league might want to raise. Even the board of governors might want to raise. Yeah, I mean, it's not fair. You're making all these tens of millions. We want to raise, Ivan. The coaches might want to raise too. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah, for the coaches, you can raise their salaries of maybe 2 million. A coach that makes 5 million can make maybe 7 million minimum, and then I can max it out to maybe 23 million. The coaches can make a bit more, but I'm not going to pay them any more than that. But making 50 million, 20 million, 18 million, 17 million as a SHL head coach is a good paycheck for the coaches, and they get winning bonuses for every game they win. That's a good deal for those guys. And star coaches get featured on magazines too. The legendary winning coaches, they get featured on magazines too. They get paid for that too. Are you giving the coaches league revenue? No, the coaches don't get league revenue. They're not worth it. The coaches are not the product on the ice. They don't get league revenue. They just get their base salary and winning. They get winning bonuses. Every time a coach wins a game, he gets like maybe a $100,000, $150,000 winning bonus. If they lose, they don't get a bonus. You can do that. 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, $120,000 winning bonuses, which is a good deal for the coaches, right? So if a coach wins 40 games, they get a winning bonus of maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 10 to like $50,000. 100,000 is too much. $10,000, 20,000, 30, 40. Give them bonuses anywhere from 10 to 50, $60,000 bonuses for winning bonuses. If they lose games, they don't get a bonus. They get a winning bonus. So if a coach wins 40 games in a season, 50 games in a season, and they got $10,000, they just made what? 500, whatever it is, $1,000. Yeah, extra in cash. That's a good deal for the coaches. Coaches get bonuses for winning. You could do that for the coaches. But don't have 100,000. That's crazy. No, they'll end up making millions of dollars. They're going to drain your money. No. 10, 20, 30,000, 10,000, $50,000 winning bonuses for the coaches. That's a good deal for the coaches. And the GMs get the bonuses too, because they're part of they're the people who constructed the team. They get their bonuses too, but they don't get league revenue because they're not the product on the ice. Only the star players. The players are worth more than the coaches and the GMs in pro sports. That's how it works, because they're the product on the field, on the ice, on the court. You guys know what I'm saying? Yeah. Great, 17 minutes? Holy shit. Yeah. Would VJ support you? Yeah, she'd support me. Yeah, VJ, I want to start that pro hockey league. It's like, what? You want to be a pro hockey league instead of being a movie star? I'm like, yeah, VJ, I want to start a pro hockey league. Okay, Ivan, how much will it cost? Yeah, like $33 billion. Ivan, that's a lot of our money, Ivan. Like, VJ, it's a good investment. We're going to make our money back. Okay, fine, Ivan. You can do your pro hockey thing. I'll do my music. VJ will just do your music, and I become a pro hockey player. Well, I have to make enough money, first of all, to start that league, right? But I should be making like my $50 billion off the book. So even if I invest $33 billion, I still have like 20-something billion in my bank. I'm still good, and I will make my $33 billion back, because I'm probably going to make my 60-70 billion after my first season, after the costs and everything, right? Because you have the costs and putting money back in the league. I'll make my $33 billion back. The league will do probably 100 billion in profit, 90, 80 billion in profit. SHL Pro Hockey League. Guys, I'm sorry. But the cost is too high, guys. It's risky. What if I flop as a player? Yeah, it's a little bit risky. Yeah, I could flop as a player, guys. I don't want to take that risk. It'll blow the NFL and the NHL water, as my league will be doing 100, 150 billion in revenue. Blowing the NFL. The NFL is like a puny league compared to my league now. SHL league, right? I have the keys to the kingdom. Don't forget that, guys, right? We're looking at like 1,800,000,000 people tuning into the games. That's like 150, 180, even 200 billion in revenue by SHL Pro Hockey League. Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we're making a lot of money. Yeah, I'll be pulling in my 60, 80, even 100 billion season in the SHL. That's why the players might be a bit pissed off. They want to raise. It's not fair, man. Ivan's making all that dough, and we're getting the peanuts, man. Yeah, guys, because you're puny small compared, man. That's why you're making the peanuts, and you're not worth any more than this. I'm not going to raise the cap to $2 million. You guys are not worth that, man. I might have to guys do like that. Yeah, right, man. It's only $2.5 million. Yeah, it is, but like you're not worth that, guys. Like a star player is not worth $6 million a season. $7 million a season. Because if you raise the cap to $2 million, star players can now make $60, even $70 million for one season, but the players are not worth that. They're duping you, Ivan. They're not worth these star SHL athletes are not worth that guy, Ivan. They're duping you. Even Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky and LeBron James are not worth $70 million a season for their base alone. I'm not talking about their other stuff. I'm not talking about the combined ratings. I'm talking about for their base alone. Even those guys are not worth that. They're duping you, man. Yeah, these guys are all puny and small. I mean, they're not worth that. Guys from Sarah, no, yeah. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go upstairs and get some coffee. Hope you guys enjoyed my SHL video, right? My SHL Pro Hockey show. Oh, hey, you guys, in a second. Alright, guys, sorry for my wait. That's why I would not have any more than 25 teams. Otherwise, it's going to cost me like 38 billion, something crazy. That's why 25 teams is enough for the league right now. What's the big cost, Ivan? The arenas. I have to put $1 billion. If you want just as good arenas as the NHL, I have to put $1 billion towards each arena to build like amazing facilities. A practice facility and the main arena, right? Or I might not even have an. I might do a thing where they just practice in the main arena to save money, because it might cost me even a bit more to have a practice and they just train in the main facility too. But no, you can have a practice facility. $1 billion should be enough, right? As NHL arenas on average cost $700 million, $1 billion should be enough to build a practice arena and the main arena for the players, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. You also have to buy coaches. Yeah, players also have buses too. Yeah, because how it works in the NHL, whenever the players play, if the players are playing very far away, they fly. But if it's only like a 5-hour bus ride, they take the coach. They take a coach. So you have to have the coaches are cheaper though. Coaches don't cost that much. Like to buy a coach is what, like you can buy a coach for like 800, like 80,000. A coach only costs maybe, the coaches are cheap. The bus for each team, that's like $80,000, $100,000. That's cheap. Whereas the chartered flights are expensive. That's like $35 million. If you want to have a good jet for each team, you have to like $35 million towards that. That's like $800 million on the budget. Assuming I make the money, but I should make more than even $33 million off the book, right? I'll be making probably my 50, maybe 60 million, 70 million off the book, maybe. I'm just being humble here, right? Because I have the keys to the kingdom. He's like, yeah, Ivan, you have the fucking keys, man. Like, you saying 20 billion is you being humble, Ivan. You have the fucking keys to the kingdom, Ivan. Yeah, I have the keys to the kingdom. Guys, I'm sorry. I have the keys to the kingdom. Obviously. Yeah, man. I have the keys to the kingdom. Yeah, man. But being a movie star is my dream, guys. My movie star BG, obviously. Like, duh, it's cooler being a movie star than being a pro athlete. Being a pro athlete is fucking cool, but it's cooler, a little bit more cooler being a movie star. Yeah. Yeah, the board guards are like, yeah, this is going to cost you like $37 billion, Ivan. You want to have, to build your arena, Ivan, will cost you like $1 billion per team. Yeah, I know. I have to put $1 billion of my money into each team. That's $25 billion. And the $200 million salary cap is $5 billion. That's why I'm not going any higher than $200 million, because I don't want these athletes to dupe me. Yeah, Ivan, $200 million is more than money to pay the players a lot of money. Yeah, it's not money to pay the players a lot of money. And the star players get league revenue. Anywhere from 5 to 20 million. More like 5 to 15 million. 5 to maybe 12 million. The only players who get more than 12 are probably the generational talents. They can get their 15, 20 million league revenue, excluding their already rich paycheck they're making, right? That's a good paycheck for the players. Yeah. Alright, this league's in the bowl of the NHL. Oh yeah, bowl of the NHL water. I guarantee you it won't just be the players who will go on strike. Everyone, the whole league will go on strike. All the play-by-play guys and the sport anchors, equipment managers, coaches, even the board of governors. They might complain to me, we want a fucking raise. This is not fair. You're making all this money, we want a raise. And you guys are fucking greedy people. Ivan, you're greedy too, man. You're making all that fucking money, we're making all the peanuts. Like, guys, man, if you don't like what I'm fucking paying you, man, go work in the NHL and make less money, guys. You don't make this in the NHL. There they go. Yeah, guarantee even the coaches will want to raise. Yeah, it's not fair, Ivan, man. You're making like I don't know, you're 190, 80 billion a season. Yeah, but guys, keep in mind, guys, I'm putting like a lot of my money profits back into the league to make sure you guys to keep the league afloat. It's expensive, guys. I have to put like 15 billion. $16 billion of my own profits into the league each season to keep this thing afloat, man, and to pay you guys, make sure you guys get paid, man. Like, it's high cost, guys. And I'm worth this, guys. I'm the main event, not you guys. And I'm the one who started this league. I deserve to make all this money. I'm the one paying the fucking bills. There we go. I'm paying the bills, not you, right? Yeah, but it's not fair, man. We want to raise, man. Like, we're making peanuts because they're greedy, those guys. Even the commissioner might go on strike. He might want to raise. Yeah, Ivan, like 50 million is not enough. I want more, Ivan. Because they're greedy. They want more money, those guys, right? Everyone in this world wants to make more money. That's how it works, right? Everyone in this world wants to make more money in this world, right? That's how it works. Yeah, take on a shower after this. Enjoy the show with you guys. Yeah. You're right. If you want this thing to really thrive, you gotta be a star player. I know. That's why it's risky. That's why most likely it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna start Rocket League. It's risky. I don't want to invest like $33 million of my own money. The whole world's hyping about Ivan as a pro hockey athlete. Now, Ivan doesn't score any goals. He flops as a player. Oh my God, what have I done? I just wasted $33 of my money. I'm not scoring any goals. I flop as a player. Obviously. But then you guys comment, no, Ivan, man, if you train, you should be able to keep up with the best players in the world. Yeah, but guys, what if I flop? It's risky. I won't take that risk. Whereas movies, I don't have to worry about that, right? I think a movie starts cooler anyways than being a hockey player, like, duh. Got some sour. Yeah, man. Yeah. Ivan, will the NHL, NFL, and NBA go into a panic? Well, yeah, they will, because they can't compete with me. I have the keys to the kingdom. I have deeper pockets than all those guys. You know, Ivan made like his $55 billion off his book. He's starting an SHL Pro Hockey that blows all our leagues out of the water. Obviously, and his league is doing like 150, 160 billion in revenue a season. And NFL's only peaking at 20 billion. Like, my league blows the NFL out of the water. All these leagues are all small compared to my league. They panic, obviously. Even the NFL will panic. NBA, they're all going to panic. Yeah, we can't compete with Ivan. Ivan's a fucking pro athlete. We can't compete with that, man. But the key to the league thriving is me being a star player. I have to be the face of the league with the other star players on my team and the other star players in the other teams, other 24 teams. Otherwise, if I'm not a star player, the league could perhaps dip in revenue. Less people will be interested in watching games. Ivan's not scoring any goals. It's cool seeing Ivan play, but like, it's not just me playing. Like, I know seeing me play is glory, but I have to be productive on the ice and score points, put up high number of goals and points, assists. Like I'm saying, it's risky. No veterans in the garage. No, Ivan, man. If you train, you should be able to keep with the best players. Well, I know, guys. I know I have the genes, but what if I flop? I don't want to take that risk, guys, right? Yeah. It's risky, right? Yeah. Fuck you, Ivan. You're such a fucking dick, man. If you do that, you're gonna fucking crush us NHL athletes. I know, but you guys get what you deserve. Yeah, man. We're gonna feel like shit, man. Like, we missed on opportunity. Yeah, they missed on the opportunity. They would have made way more money in my league, playing in my league, right? Yeah. Obviously. So you will not allow the GMs to pay a player a ridiculous amount of money for like 10 years? No. Otherwise, you're going to drain the cap. Why put more money into the cap? No, guys. $200 million is enough for the players. Obviously. And if they go on strike, which they will, you can raise it by like $10 million, a little bit more. Where they can get paid a bit more money, but I'm not going to raise it by like $50, $100. You guys are crazy. You're duping me. Yeah. You have to balance out the contract, guys. 1 season, 1 player 2 seasons, 1 player makes $30 million. And after that, they make maybe 26 million for 3 seasons. In the final season, they get maybe 18 million, 20 million, 18 million a season. That's good enough. That way you have more room to pay the upcoming draft picks and other good players. The good players have to get paid their $3, $4, $5 million. They have to get paid to those guys. It's not just about the star players. These other guys have families and they have girlfriends, I'm saying. Or boyfriends, I'm saying. No, I'm joking. They have girlfriends or they have families, they're engaged, they have to pay their bills. These players have to get, the good players have to get paid too. It's not just about the star players. Got some Sarah? As the money the players are making in my league, once they retire, they never have to work again if they're smart with their money. You're making 12 million a season, 8 million a season, 20 million a season for you know what I'm saying, for your 20-year SHL career. You could retire. You'll have you should have tens of millions in your bank, whereby you never have to work again. Obviously, and some of the players will be getting jobs in my league as probably coaches or front office positions or sport anchors, and they're going to get paid good money for that too. So they're good, obviously. But the truth is, most pro athletes after 5 years go bankrupt because they're stupid with their money, man. It's actually a fact. I went on Google. Most athletes in the NBA, NHL, NFL, they go bankrupt after 5 years. They go broke because they weren't smart with their money. During their career, they're just blowing their money on stupid shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I recommend all the SHL athletes. It's good to invest your money. Invest your money in real estate or restaurants. Have some investments. That way, once you retire, you have some extra money coming in, and you're good. Guys, I'm saying, yeah. Which for me, I don't have to worry about that because I'm making my tens of billions, right? Yo, it's not fair. Like, we're making a lot of money. We're not making the money you're making, Ivan. Yes, guys, you're pretty small compared to me. That's why you're not making the money I'm making. I'm the one who's paying the bills. That money belongs to me. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Because some star players, yeah, I agree. Yeah, some star players might want a $70 million, $60 million a year salary for their base load. My guys, man, you're not worth that. I'm not going to pay you that. You're fucking crazy. You're not worth that. You're going to drain the cap. And that's why they want like a $300 million cap raise. That way, the non-generational star player talent in the SHL can now bargain for their 40, 50. They want a raise because they're greedy, obviously. Yeah, it's not fair. I want a bit more of the pie, Ivan. My guys, I'll raise the cap by maybe 8, 10 million, but I'm not going to raise it to $50, $100. You guys are crazy. You're getting greedy. Sarah? Yeah. 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 So it's too late for all the NHL athletes now. Yeah, it's too late for those guys. They're all too old. Yeah. They probably will apply and try to get a job in my league as maybe a sport anchor or maybe get a coaching job, but it's tough for them to get that job because they don't have the experience. Obviously, sport anchor, some of them might get a job, but as a coaching job, it's going to be tough because those guys don't have coaching experience, right? But some teams might take a chance on players, as they took a chance on Gretzky in the NHL. He had no coaching experience, and he coached in the NHL, Gretzky, with the Phoenix Coyotes. I remember this is like 2005 when I was in grade. I remember that Wayne Gretzky is a chosen head coach for the Phoenix Coyotes, and everyone was hyping about Gretzky, and Gretzky flopped as a coach, man. He wasn't that great of a coach. Amazing, legendary player, but he wasn't that great of a coach. Just because you're a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to translate into an amazing coach. Yeah. Got some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. So Ovechkin, Malkin, all these legendary players, Law, Crosby, McDavid, Austin Matthews, are going to feel like shit. Oh, yeah, they will. They're going to be crushed. Yeah, man, we missed out on opportunity, man. We're legends in the fucking gatekeepers NHL. Where I'd rather be a legend in the SHL. The SHL is better than the fucking NHL. It's a better paying job. Better job, higher paying work than what the NHL pays those players, right? Yeah. Star players in the NHL make like 6, 7, 8 million in the NHL. Those are star players. And they peak at like 16 million. That's it. Which is a lot of money, but it's not the money I can pay them, right? I can pay them more. Yeah. Well, come on, guys. I'm not going to choose being a pro hockey player or being a movie star. Are you crazy? Or I'll be a movie star. I'll be a game star, too. It's much cooler, obviously. Like, duh. Yeah. But if I'm king when I'm 50, I might just put acting on hold. Because all my plans are fucked up, obviously. I might end up starting that pro hockey league, and I'll be a pro hockey player for maybe 25 years. And I coach for maybe another 20 years. And after like 45 years, I transition into acting with VJ. And VJ will be a famous music star. She'll be making her billions off her album too, obviously. Or tens of billions off her album too. Me and VJ are making a lot of cash, man. Yeah. VJ told me, yeah, I'll just do my music. I'll do my album. And VJ will go on a world tour for her album. And she'll be making her billions off that too, obviously, right? She'll be a successful music artist. Because I know music is also a part of VJ's dream too. She loves music and acting, VJ, right? And she'll support me. Yeah, I'll just do my music. You can do your pro thing, Ivan. I'll be a music. I'll do my album. I'll do singles and album. I'll go touring. Victoria Justice is obviously going to get invited on tours, and she'll go touring around the world. The only problem with the pro hockey thing is I won't be seeing VJ that much because I'm constantly just playing games all the time. Except for the home games. All the home games, Victoria Justice will be in the stands supporting me. But for I'm not going to see VJ as much. And VJ will be busy doing her music. Whereas for acting, me and VJ are always together. I see her all the time. That's what I'm saying. I can only take maybe a 1 month vacation with VJ in the off season. After that, I have to dedicate like 2 months of training with the players. I'll take maybe a 1 month vacation off with VJ, and that's good enough. But I have to just keep training on the ice and off the ice. That's why you have to build a state-of-the-art gym facility for the players. You have to do that. That where all the 20 SHL athletes can work out on the team, can work out at the gym, off the ice, and they do their on ice training in the practice ice arena. Yeah. Got some Sarah? Well, the board of governments tell you to make your money back. Yeah, you're going to make your money back. This league will be doing like $100 billion in profit, Ivan. $80 to $100. You're going to make your $33 billion back, but you got to be a star player, Ivan. You got to hire the best hockey guys to train you. power skating, stick handling, shooting, collateral movement, all that stuff. You have to train. And the best way to know how good you are, I mean, you got to practice with the best hockey players. That's how you know how. That's how you get better as a player. You actually have to practice. Don't practice with average Joes. No, practice with the best players. That way you know how you fare against them. And I keep up with the guys. Yeah. And that's how you know how good you are against the best hockey players in the world, Ivan. By practicing with them, obviously. Yeah. Do you think the coach will release you, Ivan? Most likely not. Because they know, like, I'm so special whereby the chances are the coaches will not. The coaches can maybe put me in second, third line, but they won't release me because they know if I don't play in the league, the revenue can dip. They have to think about the revenue of the league. That's why I'm so special whereby even if I'm not that great of a player, they'll put me maybe second, third line, but they're going to keep me on the team, keep me playing in the league. That way the revenue is, the league makes money. Because a lot of people will pay to see Ivan play hockey. But like the key is I have to be productive on the ice. I have to score points and be a star player. That's the risk, obviously. That's the thing, though, right? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If you what? If you flop, that's not good. Yeah, I could flop as a player, guys. But I don't want to take that risk. Would you have a goal? Yeah, like first season, I would like to score 28 to 30 goals and have an 80 to 100 point season. See, if I can have an 80 point season and score 25, 28 goals, that's pretty good. I'm a star player. And you have goals. In the second season, I want to score 40 goals and have 100 plus points. In third season, I want to hit like 130 points, 140 points, 150 points. And 150 is probably my peak. As in today's system in the NHL, you can't peak any higher than maybe 150 points. Because the system does not allow for you to hit like 200 points like it did in the 80s and 70s. The NHL is a lot different than it is back then, obviously. Guys, Sarah? Yeah. Players in the NHL peak at like 70 goals in the NHL. Can't peak any higher than that because the system does not allow for them to score that many points. The NHL is a lot different than it was in the 80s. Even in the NBA too, in the NFL, it's all different. The leagues were different back then than they are now, obviously. You guys can say, I don't hate him, say, yeah. Different system, right? The game has evolved over the decades, right? Wayne Gretzky playing shit. Oh yeah, he will. He'll be crushed too. Yeah, I mean, I may be a legend in the fucking NHL, but like, I'm a legend in the gatekeepers NHL. I wish I could play with fucking Ivan. Yeah, I wish I was born in a new generation. I got to play with Ivan. Yeah, Gretzky playing shit too. Mario Lemieux. These are all like the greatest hockey players in the world, right? They're like shit, obviously. Bobby Orr. Yeah, they're for like shit too. These are all legendary NHL players, man, who killed it in their prime, right? Yeah. Obviously. And my goal would be to get a cup too. Obviously. Because the one thing about Connor McDavid, don't hate McDavid, I'm saying, even though McDavid is like the best player in the NHL right now, he doesn't have any rings, any cups, man. He doesn't have any Stanley Cups. Crosby has 3 Stanley Cups. McDavid has no cups. That's the thing about McDavid. If McDavid can have a legendary career, but if he doesn't have a Stanley Cup, no one's going to really talk about him after he retires, right? That's why he has to get that Stanley Cup. He had his opportunity 2 years in a row, but like his team blew it. He doesn't have a Stanley Cup, man. You guys from Sarah? You know Dan Marino in the NFL, he had a legendary career, but he has no Super Bowls. That's why no one really talks about him, because he doesn't have any Super Bowl rings, man. You gotta win. You gotta win at least a couple cups if you want to be Like Ovechkin is good. Ovechkin at least has one Stanley Cup, so he's good. He had a legendary career in the NHL, and he has one Stanley Cup. McDavid, all he needs is just one or maybe two Stanley Cups, and he's good. Obviously, but like he could have had like one or two Stanley Cups with McDavid, but his team blew it. Fucking stupid teams, they blew it. Yeah, we blew it, man. Yeah, man, you made it to the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row, and you fucking lost to the Florida Panthers 2 years in a row. David needs that cup, man. That's why I think if let's say Edmonton makes it to Stanley Cup maybe this year or next season and they lose, McDavid's out of there. I don't think he's staying in Edmonton. I think he's gonna want to trade. Yeah, I recommend he goes to an American team. That way he strengthens his chances of getting a cup, because there's a curse in the NHL whereby the Canadian teams can't beat the American teams. It's just a curse since 1993. The Canadian teams just have the disadvantage over the American teams. I don't know. It's a curse in the NHL. That's why I recommend McDavid. If he doesn't get a cup in the next 2 seasons after his contract's up, I recommend he jump ship and go to an American team to strengthen his chances of getting a cup. Otherwise, he might have a legendary career with no cups. You gotta have a cup, McDavid, right? Oh, hey, I'm saying yeah. Crosby has 3 cups. McDavid has no cups, right? Yeah. Yeah. All the legendary players, in most cases, all legendary players who played in pro sport leagues, they all have championships. That's how it works. They all have championship rings and cups, obviously. That's why McDavid has to get that cup. He has to get the cup, right? Yeah, could have had one last year, but they fucking blew it and they lost to the Florida Panthers. 2 years in a row, man. Yeah, man. That sucks right now. Yeah. So the SHL athletes will be more famous in the NHL. Yeah, they're going to be more famous than the NBA athletes, NFL athletes. You think Patrick Mahomes is famous and LeBron James is famous? These SHL athletes are going to be more famous than all those guys. Fans are going to love them. And looking at crazy fans, asking them for autographs and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm going to be world famous too. Assuming I'm a star player, the fans are going to love me, man. Asking me for autographs and everything, yeah. And the press are going to be like hyping about the players and talking about the players on the news and interviewing them. Yeah, man, they're star players, man, in my league. You want a 15-team press? Yeah, have a private 15-team press team for each team. That's good enough. Yeah, pay those guys $150, $160. Pay them $60,000. You give them $3,000 raises per season. That's good enough for those guys, right? Yeah. But guaranteed everyone in the league will want to raise. Even the press guys, yeah, even like we're sick of, like, it's not fair. You're making all that money, man. We want to make like our $2,000-$3,000 a season. Like, guys, you're not worth that. $160,000, $70,000 a season for you guys is what you're worth as press guys. I'm not gonna overpay you guys how you do me. I'm sorry. If you don't like what I'm paying you, play the NHL and make your $100K as a press person. That's probably how much they make, right? The press in the NHL, like $100,000, $120,000 a year, they make those guys. Play guys probably make $150,000, $200K in the NHL. And I'm paying them like $300,000. Pay them $300,000 minimum. I'll tell the board of governors that. Pay the play guys minimum $300K, and don't peak any higher than maybe $600K for those guys at the point of their career. That's good enough. You give them every contract. You can give them raises, small raises, but don't peak any higher than maybe $600K for the play guys. That's a good paycheck for those guys. They're living a great life with that money. They don't make that in the NHL. NHL, they make probably $200, $250, $300K in the NHL. Those guys make play guys. Obviously. Yeah, it's a good pitch for those guys. If you don't like what I'm paying you, work in the NHL and make less money, guys. If you're pissed off and making way more than you, man, I'm the one who paid for this fucking thing. And I'm paying the bills. I'm not going to have you guys do like that, man. There you go. Don't hate him, yeah. I'm not going to have you guys do like that, man. There we go. Got some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. Ivan's the face of the league with us star players, but he's the one who's paying the bills. Yeah, guys, I'm paying the fucking bills in this league, man. And you're looking at a lot of costs I have to pay. Guys, I'm putting like $15 to $16 billion of my own profits back into the league to make sure you guys get paid, and I'm keeping this thing afloat, man. Because I only have to put about $15 billion of my money back into the league. I don't have to put like $20 billion. No, like $15 billion back in the league is enough, right? Obviously. Because each team only needs an operating budget of maybe $450, $500 million a season. So I only have to put about $15 billion into the league. That's about 500 something million per team in operating budget for the season. That's enough. Enough to pay the players, the $200 million cap. It's enough to pay all the presidents and the coaches and the press for each team, the court manager. It's enough to pay for the players per dimes, their hotel costs when they're playing in the away games, the gas for it's enough, obviously, to pay for each team to pay their bills for each season. Guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's a lot of my money, man. Like, I'm putting like $15 billion of my money back into the league each season. Like, I'm paying the bills. That's why I'm not gonna have these guys do me. I'm not gonna raise the cap to like $300 million. You're crazy. You guys are not worth that. Well, hey, you guys been saying, yeah, they're not worth that. I'm sorry. Yeah. What? How much will you charge the season ticket holders? Just as much as the NHL. Obviously, for me to make money, you have to charge a lot. Obviously, that way you make your money. I invested $30 million of my money. I have to make my profit. Yeah, yeah. Charge the season ticket holders just as much as the NHL. For like front row seats, you charge like $7,000, $8,000 for a season, and the other seats it's like a $2,000, $3,000, $1,500, $500 for the shittier seats. That's a good deal. Charge them just as much as how much the NHL charges. For the people who want to watch the game online, those guys, you can charge them like $180 to watch their team play, and then you can charge them like maybe $300 to watch all the teams. Obviously, to get total unlimited access to all the games, charge like $300. That's a good deal for all the games. And that's how the league makes its money. And I make money off the merch, the food concessions too, the season ticket holders, and the people paying online. That's how the league makes money. Because I won't have any sponsors, right? I do not sell to the gates. Because I have the keys, I can afford to keep the league afloat, obviously. Those are the income, and the game too. The game sells, food concessions, merchandise, season ticket holders, and people paying online. That's how the league makes its money. As the SHL will not have any sponsors, obviously, because I have the keys. I don't need sponsors. I could afford to pay for the bills for the league, right? Yeah, I don't need sponsors. Yeah, that's why all the pro sport leagues are going to go into a panic because they can't compete with SHL Pro Hockey League, right? Yeah, we can't compete with Ivan's league, man. His league is blowing our league in revenue, yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Do the players get sponsored with all this stuff? Yeah. protein shakes, the SHL Under Armour, SHL skates, SHL sticks. I'm gonna upgrade the sticks. Can we upgrade the sticks and skates to have better performance? Yeah, we could do that. Upgrade it. And they get sponsored with all their Under Armour, all their team logo sweaters, Under Armour, protein shakes, all that stuff is sponsored for the players. Paid for by the league. We give them per dime. Yeah, give them per dime. Give the players a good like $30 per dime. That's good enough for the players. I'm already paying them enough money. Whenever we go on away games, the players get their like $130 per dime. That way they can pay for their when they want to. Whenever the players want to go out to eat dinner and everything on away games, they use that money to pay for that. Oh, you have housing for the players? No. The players in my league don't get housing because I'm paying them enough money. I'm paying them millions. Obviously. As NFL players, NHL players, NBA players don't get housing for their deals because they're getting paid a lot of money. They're getting paid their millions for it. They can easily afford to pay their bills. Where CFL players are not millionaires, that's why the league gives star players, only the star players, housing. They'll pay for their apartment bills. I'll pay for during the season because CFL players are not millionaires. Like star players in CFL make like $200K a season. Obviously, especially the ones who are American who live in the States. That's why the league pays for their housing because they're not millionaires. That's why the CFL they offer star players housing deals, even car deals too. Because the players they're not making the kind of money that the big pro sport leagues are making, right? Whereas the players in the big pro sport leagues are making their millions, they can afford to pay their bills. So I'm not going to offer housing deals for the players. You can easily afford to pay your bills with the money I'm paying you, right? Yeah, they can pay their bills. One game said, yeah, they pay their bills. Guys, I'm sorry. Well, you have the players stay in luxury hotels. Well, with a $500 million operating budget, you could afford to have the players stay in luxury hotels, but you're gonna drain your budget. No, like have them stay in top quality hotels, but they're not luxury hotels. Like they're just standard hotels, but they're nice fucking hotel rooms. Obviously, nice hotels where the players are staying in the away games, and they have their own team chartered flight, and they have their own coach bus too. Obviously, for the yeah. Because in pro sport leagues, you have coaches and you have planes. If you're playing a team in a city that's far, far away, they fly on a plane. That's how it works in pro sports. And if you're playing in a city that's close by, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours away, they drive on a coach bus. So you have to also have a coach bus for each team too. The coach buses are cheap. It'll cost me maybe $80,000 per team. That's cheap. Only if like 6 million, 7 million costs. It's cheap. 10 million costs, 20 million costs, 25 million costs for the coach buses. It's cheap. Sorry, not 20 million. Like 2.5, 3 million costs for the coach buses. That's cheap. 100K you can get a nice coach bus for each team, right? With the team logo and everything. Yeah, a lot of cost, man. That's why the SHL Bowl, the NHL, the water. But this is high unlikely, guys, as I'm most likely to be movie star BJ. Guys, I'm sorry. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my SHL Pro Hockey video. I'm signing off. Peace. SHL better than the NHL. Peace out, guys. I'm Hope you guys enjoyed this show.